Om Sthapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharmasvarupine Avatara Varisthaya Ramakrishnaya te namaha. My salutations to Sri Ramakrishna, who descended on this earth to establish the Dharma, who is the embodiment of all the world religions, and who is the best among the incarnations. Oh, peace, peace, peace. Dear devotees, we try to discuss regarding Sri Ramakrishna and divine play. So, previous lecture, I gave just an introduction about who is Swami Shardanandji and why did he write and what is the reason or intention of writing this magnanimous opus work, which is called Sri Ramakrishna and his divine play. Maybe a little more introduction I will give, then we will try to discuss the few incidents and the introduction to the divine play. There was a devotee, he goes to Belur Math. You know, Belur Math is the headquarters of Ramakrishna Math. The monastery is there where every day thousands of devotees, they visit the Belur Math. The monastic disciple of Sri Ramakrishna, his name is known as Swami Shivananda. He was sitting on the bank of the Ganges and he was meditating as well as he was repeating the Lord's name. He was repeating the Lord's name, but Sri Ramakrishna's name. So he was sitting in the bank of the Ganges, he's meditating on Sri Ramakrishna and he's trying to repeat the name of Sri Ramakrishna. A devotee approached to pay his respects to the Swami or to the monk. Then he saw he's meditating and he's also repeating the Lord's name, that is Sri Ramakrishna's name. So he waited. When this Swami Shivananji finished his meditation and when he opened his eyes, this devotee came and he paid his respects and said, Swamiji, I have got a question. What is that? Sri Ramakrishna is your guru, no doubt. Sri Ramakrishna advised and probably he directed you for spiritual life or for realization. He's a guru, no doubt. But you are meditating and you are repeating his name. Generally, we are supposed to repeat Lord's name, God's name. Sri Ramakrishna is not God. Why are you taking Sri Ramakrishna's name? Instead of that, you could have taken Rama, Krishna, Shiva, Durga, any other God's name. Then Swami Shivanji laughs. He smiles and he laughs at him, his sentences, and he asks, oh, my dear, that's fine. But why do you feel, or why are you thinking that Sri Ramakrishna cannot be an incarnation or God and he's just a guru or a spiritual personality? A devotee says, of course, he was kind and he was, he was broad and probably was open enough. And he said, Swamiji, because Sri Ramakrishna did a lot of penance, tapas, and himself cried for Mother Kali. And he did a lot of spiritual practices and he had realization of God or gods. So we don't see in the history any incarnations, either Rama or Krishna or any incarnations, who did such type of spiritual practices and they realized gods and goddesses. Themselves, they didn't do that. So that is the reason I think Sri Ramakrishna cannot be God. He is a spiritually advanced soul, advanced self. So Swami Shivanji, he laughs at it. He laughs at him and he says, my dear, because Sri Ramakrishna was an incarnation, that is the reason he was able to do or perform spiritual practices in such a perfect manner, in such a short span of time. He did in 4 years, he realized, he experienced Mother Kali. And in 8 years, he did 5 types of Vaishnava sadhana. He did 64 types of Tantra sadhanas. And he did Islam sadhana, and he also had a vision of Christ and whatnot. So all the major world religion spiritual practices he did, and he realized the God, or he realized the ultimate truth according to their philosophies. And in the history of religion or spirituality, nowhere we find such type of records. because Sri Ramakrishna was the embodiment of God, or the God has manifested as Sri Ramakrishna. That is the reason he was able to do spiritual practice in such a perfect manner in such a small time, my dear. Okay, then why did he do sadhana if he himself is a God? He said, oh, because to show us, to show the mankind how one can reach God. To reach God, what should be the mindset of a person? What should be his attitude? What he should do and what he should not do, so that one can reach God. To show literally, practically. So Sri Ramakrishna did all the sadhana. Otherwise, he didn't add anything to achieve, or he didn't add anything to remove, like ignorance or any shortcomings, sins or evils or whatever. Then the devotee understood, and he thanked the Swamiji, and he also asked pardon, apologies, and he went. Now, like this, so many stories I can keep on telling. By these stories, we can understand very well that most of us, we don't have a right understanding about God, about an incarnation, about a prophet. Because when the God himself incarnates in the flesh, it is not that easy for any of us to understand and to recognize. During Rama's time, only 12 rishis were able to understand properly who was Rama. And during Krishna's time, very few people were able to understand who was Krishna, including their family people themselves, they were not able to understand. Same thing we can see in the life of Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna was mocked or taunted that he is a madcap in the name of spirituality. His own mother, his own relatives, friends, neighbors, the people who are living in and around him, most of them, they couldn't understand Sri Ramakrishna as a God incarnate in a flesh. So it is very, very difficult. So that is a reason we have to, one is we have to advance in spiritual life, and also based on the scriptures and based on the evidences and narrations made by the saints, we will be able to make some progress in understanding the incarnations. Now the question may come, why should we understand? What is the necessity? When you understand what happens, janma karma cha me divyam, evam yovetti tattvataha, tektva deham punarjanma, naiti ma meti sorjuna. Krishna tells very clearly, O Arjuna, the incarnations, life, birth, and his actions are divine in nature. Whoever understands it, understand is not intellectually clear understanding and getting convinced or experiencing. For such persons, what happens? What he attains? Naiti punarjanma. He will not have any more birth. He will be realized person. His cycle of birth and death gets completed. No more birth and no more death. That is the reason we have to understand. Now, the Sri Ramakrishna's divine play is written by Swami Shardanandji, a monastic disciple of Sri Ramakrishna. It is in Bengali language. The original name of this book is what? Sri Ramakrishna Leela Prasanga. Sri Ramakrishna, you know. What is this Leela Prasanga actually? Prasanga means episodes. So Sri Ramakrishna's episodes, life episodes. As a child, Sri Ramakrishna as a child, here as an episode. Sri Ramakrishna as a young spiritual aspirant, there was an episode. Then after that, he took the form of world leader or a guru. It is an episode. Then when people started coming and he started directing them, and he created the base for the new movement, that is Ramakrishna movement or Ramakrishna Mutton mission. There is also one more episode. So that has been used in the episode. So whole Sri Ramakrishna's life has been, segregated or has been uh, compartmentalized into 4 or 5 episodes. In that episodes, Swami Shardanji has tried to discuss about Sri Ramakrishna's life based on the scriptural teachings and philosophical teachings. And Leela is what? Divine play. Divine play. We also eat, we also sleep, we also do a lot of activities, we achieve something. Success and failures are part of our life. Many things are there. Now here Leela is Sri Ramakrishna, from birth to his passing away, so many incidents has happened, so many miracles has happened, so many instances are there which are subject or which are to be meditated, which are to be deeply contemplated, by which we will understand many things. Simple example we can say, Sri Ramakrishna's life, you take. Like for example, when I was young, when I read first Sri Ramakrishna's life, I got inspired and I got motivated by Sri Ramakrishna's life. As a, I can also practice, I can also try to realize God, to experience God. So when you read or study Sri Ramakrishna's life, first and foremost, it all happens for us is one can reach God, one can experience the God. God is real and it can be experienced. It is not mere hypothetical argument. You'll be able to understand. And the second thing is how to reach God. What is the path by which we can reach God? You'll be able to understand. So this is what Leela. So when you read and study the Sri Ramakrishna's life incidents, what will happen? You will get faith in God, not only for Hindu, not only for Muslim, not only for Christian, not only for Buddhist or Jainist or whomever. Whoever wish to know the God or experience the God, whoever wish to experience the consciousness, he may be of any religion, any culture, any country, any cult. If you read Sri Ramakrishna's life with an open mind, they get inspired and it will motivate them to continue in their path, in their religion, in their culture, or whatever. That is the reason we have to study. That is what Leela. And also imagine yourself, even Naren, Swami Vivekananda himself had a doubt after 4 or 5 years staying with him. Before his passing away, Sri Ramakrishna is passing away, Naren thinks. At this juncture, because Sri Ramakrishna had a throat cancer and his body was, narrowed down to just, a skin and the bones. That's why he had become very thin because he was unable to take food and etc. And he was not well. He was not well means his body was not well. He was lying on the bed. At that critical juncture, Naren thinks, at this point of time, if Sri Ramakrishna says that he is God, is an incarnation, then I will accept. He is only thinking. Immediately Sri Ramakrishna tells, oh my dear Naren, have you got still doubt? Who came as Rama, who came as Krishna, he himself has come as Sri Ramakrishna in this present time. Now, the same person, no, is the same power. That is what the Parabrahman. The Supreme Self who descended as Rama, the Supreme Self who descended as Krishna, the Supreme Self, he also has descended as Ramakrishna from the form of name and form. Is not the same person. We should not take it literally. Oh, that particular person who came as Rama, Krishna is Ramakrishna, not from the physical point of view. It is from the power. That is the same divine consciousness or supreme self. He has born as Rama, he has born as Krishna, and now he has born as Ramakrishna. And interestingly, Swami Shardanji didn't follow the chronology in the beginning. He took Sri Ramakrishna's life from the middle, actually. Now, of course, if you read Sri Ramakrishna's divine play, you will get chronology, actually. He started third volume, then I think fourth volume, then second volume, first volume, then fifth volume he wrote. So he wrote the introduction and the first part of Sri Ramakrishna's Guru Bhava, then the second part of Guru Bhava, then Sadhaka Bhava. Sadhaka Bhava is as an aspirant. Then he wrote about Sri Ramakrishna's childhood, and then he wrote Sri Ramakrishna's end. Are the people when he became famous, when the devotees started coming and seeing Sri Ramakrishna, meeting Sri Ramakrishna, he wrote. So literally, he didn't follow the chronology actually. And he himself tells very clearly why he has followed that system or that mechanism. Now, in India, traditionally, before studying how they are so rational and how so beautiful in their thinking, you see, an author has to establish 4 connections. It is called Anubandha Chatushtaya. If you have heard my Tattvabodha lectures, Aparokshanibhuti lectures, there I have discussed in detail. So now just I'll be mentioning. If you have to study a book or if you have to write a book, the author is supposed to tell for whom book has been written. So which is called Anubandha Chatushtaya. Anubandha Chatushtaya means 4-fold connections. So the 4 connections are, one is Adhikari. Who is eligible candidate? Who is a fit person to read this book? Now, I am writing a work, fine. I'm writing a book, but who is fit to read this book? Who is eligible to read this book? The author has to state, Adhikari. Then Vishaya. Someone may be eligible to read that book, but what is the topic? What is the subject matter of the book? What is the content of the book? Author has to tell at the beginning itself, so that the reader can decide whether he is interested to go further or not. Then the third is sambandha. I mean, the third is prayojana actually in a way. Prayojana means use, utility point of view. So, what do I get from reading this book? Utility point of view. Fourth is, what is the connection between the subject matter and the utility point of view, or the subject matter and also the individual. So all these four has to be discussed in the beginning itself. Now these four things, if you take it and if you discuss about the Leela Prasanga divine play, who is Adhikari? Whoever wish to know what is an incarnation or who is an incarnation, who can be called as an incarnation, or whoever wants to progress spiritually, any path you might have taken, you might come from again any religion, any country, never mind. If you are interested in spiritual progress, if you are interested to know who is God, what is God, all such people are eligible candidates to study this book, Adhikari. Then what is the subject matter of the book? Subject matter can be thought from two angles. One is the subject matter is the life of Sri Ramakrishna, the divine actions of Sri Ramakrishna, and it is a philosophical interpretation of life of Sri Ramakrishna. The one thing is, the second is when the God incarnates, how he behaves, how he acts, how he performs his action, how he performs, and why does he perform. So that is the subject matter of the book. Then what is the utility? Utility is your faith will be restored or it will be concretized about the divinity, about the God or Supreme Self. And you will get more and more inspiration. You will get a clarity. You will get a clear picture how one can approach the God, how one can reach the God, how one can experience or manifest the divinity or consciousness. That is what the utility. Now, the fourth is sambandha, connection. The connection between the subject and the use. The subject matter is what? Spirituality, and the utility is what? How to practice, what is spirituality and how to manifest the spirituality or practice spirituality is all interesting and it is necessary for all of us. That's what we are going to get from this. Now, and also if you see, when you read, when you study, what happens? Initially at the beginning, definitely will not get the realization of the self or realization of the God. It will take its time and it needs also a lot of practice or a lot of efforts from our side. But what can happen? Shri Krishna tells very clearly in the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, वीत राग भय क्रोधा मन्मया मामुपाश्रिताः बहवो ज्ञान तपसा पूत मद्भाव मागताः. My gurus, this is one of the famous statement. Bhavo Gnana Tapasa Puta used to tell often, my teacher. What is the meaning of this sloka? Being free from attachment, fear, and anger, become fully absorbed in me and taking refuge in me. Many persons in the past became purified by knowledge of me and thus attained my divine love. Now, many persons in the past became purified by knowledge of me. Bhavo gnana tapasa puta madbhava agata. So whoever reads, studies, contemplates time and again about the God or about the life of Ramakrishna, life of Jesus, life of Buddha, and teachings, of course, included, life of Rama, life of Krishna, then what are life of, what you say, Mahavira, then what happens? They become purified. And then what happens? Vita raga, Vita is free. Vita raga, he will be free from worldly attachments. Vita bhaya, they'll be free from all types of fear. Vita krodha, they'll be free from anger. Then mat maya mam upashitaha, they'll be fully absorbed in me and by taking refuge in me. So these are all the utility by studying the life of Ramakrishna, life of an incarnation, and trying to understand the life and teachings of any prophet, including Ramakrishna. What will happen? You'll be free from attachment. You'll be free from aversion. You'll be free from anger. You'll be free from hatred. And also, you'll be well established in the truth and you will be progressing in that particular path. That is the reason. And probably when I was reading Mandukya Karika, Mandukya Upanishad in detail, in depth, when I was in training center, what happened? One is understanding them, and there was a lot of joy, intellectual joy about understanding the truth. And somewhere I was feeling that the whole world and etc. is not really real, or it is not palpatably real. This is very, very important actually. The notion of the truth is the thing which will propel us to work and to fight or to struggle. Now, for example, a child is feeling truth or real about a doll, one pie or 1 euro doll. That's why she feels, she cries for it. Now, for a grown up person, for a doll, he doesn't give much value to it. He knows its worth of it, its value. It is just 1 euro. His worth or his value is something else. Because the reality is Satyatva Buddhi, we say in Upanishads, that is because we think a particular thing and an object is so real or it is real, that's why we are obsessed with it. We are struggling to get it. When we study Upanishads, or when I was studying Upanishads, Mandukya Upanishad especially, I was feeling that this whole world and the phenomenon, etc., all these things are not real. It is just a dreamy thing. Just it was a feeling at that time when I was reading Mandukya Upanishad. So similarly, when we read, study, and your mind gets soaked in such type of life and teachings of the great people or incarnations, what happens? Slowly, slowly, your mind will be unfurled towards the highest things, towards the divinity. What is real? What is unreal? What is right? What is wrong? What is fit to be possessed or followed, and what is not fit to be followed? All these things you will get clarity in your mind, and if you further progress, you will be able to hold on to it, to the right thing, and you will be you will be able to give away the lesser truths or the lesser facts. That's why Vitaraga Bhaya Krodha. You'll be free from all these impurities. You'll be free from ignorance. You'll be free from unnecessary attachments. Then what happens? You can be happy. Now, this Leela Prasanga, the divine play, is not the book to have a casual reading. It has to be read very, with concentration, with carefulness, and systematically. Then only you'll be able to understand this. I told he wrote third volume, fourth volume, second volume, first volume, and the fifth volume. In the same chronology, I will be also discussing the few incidents from Sri Ramakrishna's life, that is divine play. And when you read Sri Ramakrishna's divine play, what do you feel actually? This my experience, I will tell you, and also I've heard from few other monks and the devotees. When you are reading divine play, when you study it in a proper way, what happens? You will start feeling when you start feeling that God is real. Is not in some above world or in heaven or in the some above worlds, sitting on the throne, holding a some what do you say, probably holding a stuff and trying to rule the world or whatever. No, God is everywhere and God is in you, and God is the nearest person you will think and you will start feeling and experiencing, at least mentally. And you will start feeling or experiencing the peace, uh, happiness, and contentment. This is one thing which happens. And you will start liking Sri Ramakrishna as a God or as a guru, as a spiritual illuminary. And if not, and for many, you will start accepting him as your chosen deity, as your life. That's what it happened to me. When I started reading first initially, I started liking him. It inspired me to take spiritual life. And slowly, slowly, I started liking him and I started accepting him as my chosen deity. And not only that, even a people, like I have heard few cases that even they come from different culture, different religion, different countries, when they read the Sri Ramakrishna's life from the divine play point, they got inspired, they got motivated to perform spiritual practices in their own path. That is what you will understand. These 3 points. The fourth point is how an ideal spiritual personality can be there. How God, if he comes in a flesh, If a God descends on this world, how one can be there, how God will be there, what will be his actions, what will be his attitude, what will be his perceptions, how he leads his life, you will be able to understand. So, how if a God comes in a flesh suit, how he behaves, how he talks, how he behaves, you'll be able to understand. That is the reason studying the Leela Prasanga, that is divine play, is very, very important. Now, what mindset is also very, very important. We have to prepare our mindset before starting the study. Say, for an example, so many people came to see Sri Ramakrishna during his lifetime. The first and foremost is people were very critic. Oh, we hear that Sri Ramakrishna has become mad in the name of spirituality because he behaved in a very weird manner, it seems. Let us go and see such an interesting personality. He's a madcap, spiritually mad person. Okay, let me go and see. Let me try to witness how he behaves in a mad way. Some people came and some people tried to examine or see him, how he behaves in a mad way. This is one set of people. And second set of people came, oh, because the great people in the, I mean, society in those times, like Keshav Chandra Sen, and so many solicitors, judges, officials, rich people, doctors, all of them, they are going and seeing Sri Ramakrishna. They're trying to listen and trying to follow the teachings of Sri Ramakrishna. That means he may be some great personality. Let me go and see. Because when we start getting, for example, tomorrow somewhere you hear some such and such a celebrity is going and seeing Swami Shantivratananda, immediately people start thinking, oh, celebrities are going and seeing Swami Shantivratananda, that means something is great. Okay, let us go, let us also go. That's how the people think. So because celebrities are so many cream of the society, they were coming and seeing Sri Ramakrishna, some people came. And the third is Keshav Chandra Sen and some people, they wrote beautiful articles in the newspapers, in the journals, in the magazines about Sri Ramakrishna and his teachings and all. So as a inquisitiveness, as an interest, people came to see Sri Ramakrishna, to know about Sri Ramakrishna. And the fourth person is spiritual aspirants like Swami Vivekananda, like Swami Brahmananda, or Dr. Ramchandra Datta. They were spiritual inclined people already. They wanted to know what you say. They wanted to know what is spirituality. They wanted to know what is to go further in spiritual practice. That is the reason spiritual aspirants, they came to listen Sri Ramakrishna. And the fifth is they were all pandits, like they were all already well established and well read about what you say Sri Ramakrishna, and then they were well versed, well established in the scriptures. They wanted to know whether whatever they read in scriptures and what is Sri Ramakrishna's experience, whether both are same or true or it is different. So such different mindset of people, they approached Sri Ramakrishna and they got the benefits in their own way. Now, what mindset we are having and why we are approaching Ramakrishna is also matters. Now, there is no hard and fast rule. With this particular mindset, only you should approach Ramakrishna. Then only you will get what you say profit or benefit. Otherwise, no. You can be open-minded. You may be atheist. You may be agonist, or you may be devotee. You may be spiritual aspirant, or you may be learned person. Anyone can approach Ramakrishna based on your mindset, based on your perception, based on your understanding, based on your thing. You'll be able to understand and you'll be able to what you say draw the inspiration more and more. So the more and more eligibility you have got, spiritual eligibility, I mean to say, you'll be able to get or understand Sri Ramakrishna in better and better. Now, when you see in Upanishad, Uddalaka and Shvetaketu conversation between a son and father, Uddalaka said, Tattvamasi Shvetaketu, Tattvamasi Shvetaketu, Tattvamasi Shvetaketu. 9 times he heard. Shvetaketu heard 9 times that you are that Shvetaketu, you are that Shvetaketu. And he heard and he felt and he experienced. Now, many of us, we are not able to. So for him, for Shvetaketu, it was just mere hearing. Shavana was enough to experience the truth, transcendental truth, that is what the self. But in many of our cases, it is not enough. Why? Because there's a lack of preparation, there's a lack of mental purity. So Shravana, that's called hearing. That is not enough. Then Manana, reflection. We have to reflect upon the life and teachings of Ramakrishna or of the masters or the incarnations. Then the third is Nididhyasana, that is contemplation or meditation. We have to read it. Okay. Now, here author is using actually in Bengali, if you read, it is called bhava actually, and we are translated as a mood. Means Sri Ramakrishna, his personality in that particular frame, in the time frame, he was in a particular bhava, he was in a particular mood, divine mood. Based on that, this chapterizations has been done, so that we have to keep it in a mind. And one more interesting point is, now Westerners, they go with very objectively. Now, when he was born, what is the exact time, what is the date, what is the day, what is the place, and objectively they speak. And in the broad canvas, that's what we all see their approach. And in the Indian approach, they are not bothered about the objective truth, not much actually, but they are more bothered about the philosophy, they are more bothered about the ideology actually. Broad canvas I'm speaking. There are exceptions in both the cases. Now, when Swami Shardananji has taken the both and he has tried to explain Sri Ramakrishna's life and incidents. He has tried to put Sri Ramakrishna's life objectively, at what time happened, when it happened, where it happened. Objectively, he has put like an historian, as a Christopher Isherwood tells beautifully. He was an historian and he was a philosopher, Swami Shardanji. Objectively, he puts, and the second thing is, he's also giving a beautiful analysis, beautiful spiritual and philosophical analysis about Sri Ramakrishna's life and about his sadhana and about his incidents. That's what we have to understand very clearly. Now, for example, now we'll be entering into the book. Actually, I will be reading probably to the introduction for this chapter. Then you'll be able to understand. Now, the question may come for all of us. Swami Shardanji himself tells very clearly, in the materialistic West, a biography or a history shows a skill in collecting facts and figures. Okay, but the spiritualistic Hindus focus their efforts on describing thoughts and feelings in an orderly way. We think that a true biology or history can be produced only by combining those two approaches. That one should record the activities of the material body while keeping the history of the mind in the forefront. See, this is the uniqueness of this book actually. One is historically, it has been narrated, objectively narrated, and apart from that, it also has been discussed about the spiritual views, spiritual truths, and philosophical things and all. How now, for an example, you take a Ramayana. If you see in the Ramayana, so many incidents has been told, no doubt. But the author, that is the Valmiki's main intention was to describe the character, the personality of Rama, the personality of Sita, the personality of Hanuman, or the personality of Dasharatha. By that, what are the values that they practiced and they manifested? What are the truths they stood for? That is what the approach has been taken by Valmiki in Ramayana in a primary manner. That is the reason sometimes for an example, we say Dasharatha ruled for 60,000 years, which is against our common sense. Dasharatha, how he can rule for 60,000 years? There, very clearly, the commentator says 60,000 years means you should take it as 60 years actually. Now, if you see, probably objectively, they are not right. And Vishwamitra or Valmiki, they meditated for 1 lakh years, they say. Again, which is not factual. So there it is factual in the sense like, so probably it can be an exaggeration or it can be just means 1 year or 1,000 years should be taken as 1 day actually, the commentators say. Now, when we come to West, mostly, if not all the times, mostly they're objectively, they put very clearly objective observations, everything they do it. So that's why Swami Shardanji is saying that. So Westerners, they're obsessed with the objective truths, and whereas the Indian minds or Indians or Eastern mindsets people, they were always obsessed with the philosophy, the values, the truths, and whatnot. Whereas in this divine play, both have been mixed or both have been tried to make a symphony. One is objective truth, the other is the philosophical explanation also. Now, now we will be taking the third volume. In the third volume, what it contains? Swami Shardanji tells very beautifully. When you read deeply, line by line only, you will be able to understand. It contains most of the events of the master's life from the period after his sadhana to the time he became well known to the public. So he has finished his 12 years of intense sadhana. Okay, done. Now he's in the time where he became so famous, where a lot of people started coming. In between time has been discussed in this volume 3. So that is the time where he was in his Guru Bhava, which is called Bhavamukha. Bhavamukha concept is very interesting and very important to know to Sri Ramakrishna's Avatara Karya and Guru Bhava actually. I'll be discussing in later classes. So that's what. So Sri Ramakrishna as a world leader, he was already established. He was in that. That's what Swami Shardanji is indicating. We have recorded not only those events and the master's activities during that time, but we have also discussed, when possible, the moods that promoted him and the purpose that guided him in performing those actions. Now, there are so many incidents happened during that time. It is not only the incidents are mentioned, and why, what was the reason for that what do you say, occurrences or incidents? What are the moods which was in Sri Ramakrishna's mind made him to work or made him to behave in such fashion? That's the one thing. And second thing is, and what is the purpose? What is the purpose? What is the rationale? What is the philosophy which made Sri Ramakrishna to behave in such a manner? That's why I'm saying a philosophical analysis, rational analysis, philosophical interpretation has been given by Swami Shardananji beautifully based on Sri Ramakrishna's life incidents. So if you want to know Sri Ramakrishna in detail, in depth, this is the best book. This is one of the best authoritarian book to read. And he himself says, Sri Ramakrishna's divine life, not ordinary life, Sri Ramakrishna's divine life, he has been discussed in the light of the scriptures. Scriptures, you can take Quran or Bible or Vedas and Ramayana or Mahabharata or Bhagavatam and Puranas. All these things keeping in the mind, keeping as a base. So Sri Ramakrishna's life and incidents has been discussed, has been narrated. And we have also done a study of his unique mental states, experiences, and activities of Ramakrishna. So, Swami Shardanand is trying to narrate Sri Ramakrishna's mental state, his thinking, his attitude, his perceptions at those times. So, he's trying to describe an incarnation's mindset, how he used to think, why he used to think, when he used to think, etc. And it is also, there is also a comparative study. So Sri Ramakrishna's mindset, Sri Ramakrishna's mood and perceptions has been compared with Krishna, Rama, Buddha, Shankara, Chaitanya, Jesus also. So all the other country, other religion things also has been told very clearly. And why it has to be done? Swami Shardanji himself says that it is his own experience. He says, because the master told us explicitly again and again, who was born as Rama and as Krishna in the previous ages is now in this place, has surpassed even the Vedas and Vedanta. Who was born as Rama, who was born as Krishna, the same divinity or supreme self is born as Ramakrishna, and the experiences in Sri Ramakrishna's life has been surpassed even the Vedas and Vedanta. How to understand this? Just I will do one or two incidents and I will close this talk today. Now, if I probably in some Puranas like Kashi Kanda or Linga Purana and all, if you whoever read, there you will get a clear mention that whoever dies in Kashi, in Varanasi. Varanasi means there are two rivers actually, Varuna and Asi. That is the place between Varuna and Asi, that is called Varanasi, actual Kashis. So the people, whoever dies in that Kashi, they will be liberated. Why? Lord Shiva grants the mukti, moksha for them. That's what we have heard, we have read. And we all believe that's the reason many of the Hindus, they wish to die in Kashi. And even many old people, they try to go there and stay back there so that if they die in the Kashi, they will get moksha or mukti. That is emancipation. Now, how it happens, we don't know. God gives us because people have told, rishis have told, in the Puranas are available. Sri Ramakrishna, when he went to Kashi, he had that experience, and afterwards he narrates that experience. When the dead bodies were being burnt, Swami, I mean, Lord Shiva himself comes and he opens the knots, that is Brahma Granthi, Vishnu Granthi, Rudra Granthi, all these things. Whoever has read philosophies and Tantra Shastras, Lalita Shastra will be able to know. We have got three knots, psychological knots, nothing but ignorance, that will be removed, untied, and he gives a Taraka mantra and he realizes every individual soul. Now, Shiva grants mukti, we have heard, but how he grants mukti, none of us we knew, and we don't get any explanation till now. But Sri Ramakrishna tells how it happens. Now, there's a mention, but how we don't know. In any Puranas and Vedas, we don't get. But Sri Ramakrishna's teaching gives very clearly. That's how his teachings has been surpassed Vedas and Vedanta. This is one way of understanding. The other is Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Generally, reaching Nirvikalpa Samadhi is the highest goal of any spiritual personality according to the Vedanta. Now, people reaches, generally normal people are saints and spiritual personalities. When they reach Nirvikalpa Samadhi, they cannot come back. Generally, they cannot come back. After 21 days, they leave the mortal coil. They leave their body. In 21 days, they die actually. But in Sri Ramakrishna's case, still 6 months he was in Nirvikalpa Samadhi, and still afterwards he continued his life. So even from this angle, you can say Sri Ramakrishna's life and experience has surpassed Vedas and Vedanta, and a lot of philosophical explanations and all we can think. And also probably one more thing we can say, that this Bhavamukha is very unique in Sri Ramakrishna's life. We have not come across. There might be there in other incarnations, but there is no clear mention about Bhavamukha of an incarnation in any other incarnation. Like these few examples we can take how Sri Ramakrishna's life has been surpassed Vedas and Vedanta. That's the reason I'm saying that studying Sri Ramakrishna's life based on Sri Ramakrishna's divine play is something very marvelous actually. It brings a different understanding about God, different understanding about religion and philosophy, about understanding our way of life and truth and whatnot. That is the reason probably, and reading and studying this book, Sri Ramakrishna and his divine play, is more beneficial. May Sri Ramakrishna bless all of us and guide us so that we shall understand some things from his life and draw inspiration, and let us lead the divine centered life or conscious centered life. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.